Yo, you. It's been a while since I've done GARO, people. Now, I want to apologize because I have not done the last, like, 5 or 6 episode reviews. I'm like, shit. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to catch up. And the latest episode to come out was episode 8. So I'm going to do episode 8 today, or episode 7. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do episodes 4 through 6. And then, hopefully tomorrow, I'm not going to guarantee it, but hopefully tomorrow, on Monday, I'll be able to do episode 7 and 8 in one video. So, this is GARO. Honoo no Kokuin, episodes 4 through 6 review. Now, I know, they're not on Crunchyroll, I don't think so. So, fuck it. You gotta do what you gotta do in order to see the epicness of GARO. It's just, you just gotta do it. So, these episodes are, well, episode 4 is actually not that important overall. It really isn't. Episode 5 is actually the most important episode among the bunch. And episode 6 is when they're actually in Santa Barbara, and then, you know, this is the capital city where everything began. And you have pretty much Leon and Germán. They meet, they don't really meet up, but Emma's there too. And they're at home base. They have to deal with a horror blacksmith who transformed because his son, apparently, he tried to join this group of knights. And they're led by this guy called the Black Knight, which reminds me of an old school, like, Fire Emblem game I used to play. And, like, the Wii, I think it was. Oh, I think it's the same, yeah, same game where Ike is from. So, I mean, I know I'm deviating, but whatever. Point here is that the Black Knight, he's like the leader of, like, the knights. And these are Mendoza's boys. They're all horrors. They're horrors that have taken over human bodies. Knights who are worthy to pass the initial exam of killing each other. And that's what's happening right now. Mendoza has taken over the capital. He's taken over Santa Barbara. So, I think Santa Barbara's the capital. I'm not too sure. Either way. So, episode 4, to get it out of the way. I mean, overall, you know, let me go to the basics. The animation overall for each episode was pretty damn good. More so I think episode 6, Zoro. Yo, when you had Germán, he dons the Zoro Makai armor. Oh my god. Yo, Zoro the shadow cutting. Fucking beastly, dude. Yo, man, I like the chain swords. The one scene where he throws the chain swords at the horror, and then he just, like, reels himself in, and he knees the dude in the face, and, like, his face blows up. I'm like, what the fuck, man? God, it was epic. It was epic. So, the episode animation, I think, is a cut above the rest. Episode 5 has good animation. I'm not gonna lie to you. Motherfucking Rafael. Oh, I'll get to Rafael real quick. But the animation scene with Rafael it's good, but it's not as good as what Germán delivered with the Zoro armor. And so from that, the animation, I'm going to say episode 4, good. Episode 5, good plus. Episode 6, great. Now, when it comes to the pacing, they have pretty good pacing overall. Episode 4 was actually more episodic. Like, it really had nothing to do with the overall story, but it was just like a detour that they had to take in order to destroy a horror, because that's what their duty as Makai Knights is, to judge horrors that pass on from demon world to their world. That's what their duty is. And seeing how, even though, and this to me was actually a very telling scene, episode 4, you have these people, they have this ritual in this town, and it's pretty much like a beatdown session. Like, if you do anything against the town, or if you try and, like, the specifics go above me because I forget what the specifics were, but I knew that it was something along the lines of, if you go against the town in some way, shape, and form, they pretty much beat you to death. And at the end of the episode, the old man, the village elder, if you would, who was originally the head of all this, like, beatdown session, he himself gets the same treatment, and we don't see it. But you have Germán and you have Leon, and they're looking on as the old man is being taken into the beatdown barn. And they're like, these people, after all we did for them, they're still, I mean, after the fact that they just got annihilated, at least most of them got annihilated by a horror, they're still going to go and perform their ritual. And Heaven's like, we don't have the right to judge humans. We can only judge demons. We can only judge horrors. And they walk away. I'm like, shit. That was a very telling scene. Because even if the atrocities of humans are great, they do not have the right to judge the atrocities of humans. They just don't. So episode 4 in of itself is actually pretty good. So I'm going to give it a good overall, episode 4. And from a character standpoint, Leon, he's actually the one that kind of grows because he was very obsessive about revenge prior to episode 4. And then episode 4, he sees a kid, I forgot his name, but the kid who wants to take revenge on the town because the town killed his father in a beatdown session. And pretty much, he sees the kid, he is completely immersed in hatred, and he is depressed, and it affects his mom, and so on and so forth. And he sees that this is not the right path. My path of solely revenge is not the right way to go. So that does have a dramatic change in the character of Leon Luis. Now, when we go over to episode 5, which is the most important episode. Episode 5, first of all, has a full-on, we've seen before in episode 3 or episode 4, but episode 5 is the full-on character introduction of Rafael. And Rafael, who dons the Gaia armor, the Gaia defense, which is a pretty beastly armor, he has taken Alfonso as his disciple, as his pupil, so he can teach him the ways of the Makai Knights. And we find out that he is, I'm pretty sure it's, the proper term is cousin. I'm pretty sure he's the cousin of Leon Luis, because his mom is the sister of Ana Luis, the mother of Leon Luis. And the older sister, because apparently Ana was older, she was the one who practiced the Makai alchemy. She's the one who took upon that role. Whereas the younger sister, Esmeralda, she, who later on becomes queen, initially, when she was born, she was taken into an aristocratic family. And it just so happened that she wound up marrying the king. And the charm that she had was given to her at birth. So, point here is that she has no idea of what's happening with the Makai alchemists and the Makai knights and the horror. She has no idea. No idea. But regardless of that, because she has those ties, freaking this piece of shit. Oh, I don't know why I can't, what is it? Woo! His name. His fucking name, man. Morpheus. Fucking. Mendoza. This piece of shit. He's like, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter if you know anything, because you have ties to these Makai Knights. I'm gonna kill you. We don't know why, specifically, Mendoza has such a hatred for the Makai Knights, but I'm going to assume it deals with Leon's and Alfonso's grandfather. That's my assumption. But the fact of the matter here is that he has this hatred. And he is even drugging the king. The one chick who's with him, I forgot her name, she is drugging the king because they need to keep the king alive because he has that obvious power. But while the king is drugged and he is bedridden, Mendoza is the one who was running the capital, if not the entire country. So it is a very fucked up, at this point in time, it is a very fucked up situation. Because in essence, the king becomes a figurehead. Instead of a ruler, he becomes a figurehead. And it is Mendoza who winds up leading the country into its current situation. And he is the one who apparently is actually creating these horrors. These horrors aren't appearing out of nowhere. I mean, normally they appear naturally, but he's accelerating the rate because he has a Makai tool wherein which it allows him to control horrors and manifest horrors, which he's doing. Again, in episode 6, we can see him doing that full well, and he is creating an army of demons, essentially so. So, it's pretty crazy in that sense. And Rafael, again, he's going to teach Alfonso. He shows him a situation where a demon has taken over a town, and they kill the demon. And just to show the gap between someone like Rafael and someone like Alfonso, Alfonso can't do a damn thing. Can't do a damn thing to even hurt this demon. And yet you have someone like Rafael who could take out a lesser demon with his own strength alone. And then the main demon he takes out with his Makai armor. And he even has this like really heavy sword, which he always swings around. It seems really easy. But when you have Alfonso try and pick up the sword, he can't do it. It weighs too much. So there's a lot of training to be done on Alfonso's part in order to reach a level of someone like Rafael. And I'm pretty sure Rafael and... yeah, I'm going to say that Rafael and Germán are probably on like the same level. Leon, my assumption is that Leon, he actually has the... yeah, he probably has the stronger of the armors because he has the golden armor, GARO. So that's my assumption. But I don't think Leon at this point in time has the necessary skill and or the experience to be on the same level as his father and someone like Rafael. Furthermore, there is a drawback to the armor of GARO and the magic ring or the Makai ring, Zaruba. And we find out that on the night of the full moon, Zaruba takes the life energy of the user of the golden armor GARO, in this case Germán Luis. It happens for all the users of the golden armor. And we wound up seeing the old king, and beastly ass scene. Oh, this scene was beastly, because you see the old user of the golden armor GARO, right? Leon's grandfather. And he's walking around, he's talking some beastly ass shit. And he's like, yo, if you ever find the time when you doubt yourself, look at your sword and question it. Who am I protecting? Only then will you find your answer. I'm like, who the fucking, like, you could, like, it was serene and shit because you had, like, the white background. He looked holy. He looked like a holy demon. It was epic. I'm like, yo, I like this guy. I like this dude. But it looks like the essence of the golden armor users is trapped in Zaruba for a period of time. So like the next generation of golden armor users can get intel on the previous generation. And in this case, it just so happens to be his grandfather. So again, like, it was pretty cool to find that out. And finally, I do want to say one last thing about episode 5. Rafael's funny dude, man. Like, and then he's not funny in the sense that, like, he actually is a comedic character, but the way he goes about things is hysterical. Like, he's cool, he's calm, cool, collected. He is very perceptive, but it's like the random ass sound effects that he makes, like yeah, mighty. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? It's funny. It's hilarious. I'm like, dude, like, what are you eating? Like, seriously, man. Like, it's the funniest thing I've seen in a while. Like, because I just found it so amusing. Because it was so unnecessary, but it was so cool. And it was so funny. Like, there's multiple effects going on here with just sound effects alone. And I guess, like, the situation, too. Like, he takes out that one demon. He turns upon Alfonso. He's like, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, Rafael's funny, man. He's a funny dude. He really is. So, the next episode, episode 6, basically, again, I already explained most of that to you. You have a blacksmith whose son was going to join these knights, winds up dying in the process, and the sword of the son is returned to the blacksmith. And the sword has a portal, a gate to the demon world, which an essence of a demon infuses itself with the father, who winds up going AWOL later on in the day, after the emotions start to build up, and after the, I forgot his name, not the, what was the name? The little dude, Julio. After Julio does some shit and tries to stop him, no, fuck that shit. And then you have Leon. He was gonna fight against the horror that the blacksmith became, but no, Pops' turn to shine. Like, you've been shining for like 4, 5 episodes. Now it's my time. Let me don the shadow cutting Zoro armor. I'm like, fucking yeah. Like, again, beastly shit. And again, when it comes to Emma, she was there, but it had no real relevance. I mean, she did tell Luis to become an adult, quote unquote, in many senses. And then, I mean, in a sense, what she really was talking about was the fact that Leon, he flares up. Like, something happens that doesn't go his way, obviously. He flares up, he spikes in anger. And he can't bring himself back down to a normal, calm state that easily. And she tells him, in essence, you have to control that. Become an adult in that sense, but also in the sense of having sex, intercourse. Because he is inexperienced in that field, where his father, too skilled. He's too skilled. I'm like, I want that kind of luck. I want those kind of skills. Damn, I could use them. I mean, granted, his skills require money, so it's not exactly natural. His skills are paid for, but still, they're skills nonetheless. So I wouldn't mind those skills. I just want it. So overall, the episodes. Episodes 4, 5. No, episode 4. Okay, episode 4. I'm going to give a rating of a good. Episode 5. I'm going to give it a rating of a great plus, because I think it is the best among the 3. And episode 6, I'm going to give a great. And I'm going to leave it at that. So I may have forgotten a few things here and there, but I did want to cover as much as I could remember, because I do want to move on to episodes 7 and 8. Again, at some point, either on Wednesday. Because, see, Wednesday, I'm going back home for Thanksgiving. So, I may... I will have the time to do a review. But depending on if, like, the family come over... Then if family come over, then I need to go watch my nephew. And my nephew, he's all over the place. I'm like, ugh. So... one of the many reasons why I don't have a kid until I'm like 35, because I ain't ready yet, man. I'm not ready. I am not ready at all. It's a lot of work to have kids. My nephew, he's my nephew, and he's all over the place. So if you have kids of your own, they need to watch on a regular basis. Let alone multiple kids. Oh, shit. I'm just saying. So, overall, GARO's the shit, obviously. And I'm back on board. Kind of, right? I have like 1 foot. I have 1 foot on the ship. Give or take Monday or give or take Wednesday, my entire body will be on board. And I will sail along with the ship that is GARO. GARO. Alright, so I'll see you guys later. King Landing. Rate the video, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a nice day. And if you haven't told your friends yet, because this season of anime has been pretty good so far. There's been a lot of good shit coming out this season. But if you haven't told your friends yet, tell them, yo, GARO. You ain't seen nothing yet till you seen GARO. Alright? I mean, granted, you have series that I could say are better than GARO this season from an animation standpoint, from a story standpoint, from a character standpoint. Oh, shit. I mean, Germán is probably the funniest character I've seen this season thus far. He is funny. That one scene where you have Leon, he has the money and shit. Okay, fine, you can go get intel, but I got the money. He's like, wait, no, Leon, no. Oh, Germán is hilarious. Alright, boom, done. King of Lightning, rate the video, comment, subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice damn day. Tell them.